What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today, hey, we have finally got my 2022 T20 World Cup predictions video. The T20 World Cup does officially start tomorrow. The official game, we're not talking about the, the group stages and stuff like that, which have already been going on. They've almost finished. Tomorrow is the official first game of the Super 12s between Australia and New Zealand. I mean, this T20 World Cup is just going to be massive. It's one of the best and biggest World Cups that we've had in a long, long time. We've got, all of the best talent is here. Most of it, that is. I was, talking about a few select players right there. But hey, I am going to bring to you guys today my most wickets, most catches, most runs, my semi-final predictions, my final predictions, and my player of the tournament prediction in all of this video. So, hey, if you guys are new, subscribe. We are trying to hit 10K before the year is up. That would be just bloody incredible. So, if you guys are new, subscribe. It's for free. Leave a like and comment down below all of your own predictions. Remember, and this is going to go for some people who get angry, this is just a predictions video. This is just my predictions. These are not what I'm not saying that these things are going to happen. I'm not, pretending like this has already happened or no way anything else can happen. And if you have a different opinion, you're wrong. I'm not saying that at all. These are just my opinions. And if you have different opinions, then that's okay. Let me hear them in the comments. Let's get into it. I am ready. I've got my own little slideshow right here. That's right. Best editor in the world right now. And as we just wait, so here we go. The first page, I've got T20 World Cup, the most catches and the most run-outs. So we'll get the easy stuff out of the row. I've got 5 players for each category that I think will be, in the top 5 of each category. And then I will be talking through who I think will actually win each category as well. Let's go. I don't know why I haven't pressed play yet. And there it is, bang. So just like that, we get our 5 players that I think will be, will take the most catches and have the most run-outs. So, I am counting catches and run-outs as one. I'm not, trying to separate them as different categories. So we've got pretty much the fielding award of the World Cup right here. As you see, I've got 5 of the very finest players in the world. We got the big show, Glenn Maxwell. We've got Martin Guptill. We've got Virat Kohli. We've got the spinner, Adil Rashid, who might be a bit of a left field one. I can't really remember why I put him on here. And then we've got Lord and Saviour, Temba Bavuma. We've got the little man at the end as well. So he is a classy fielder as well. I think a lot of people do forget that he is a very, very good fielder. So my top 5 right here. Glenn Maxwell, I think that's an obvious one. I think he is always, fielding out in the deep for Australia. That's an obvious one. Martin Guptill, I think same thing goes. He is one of their best fieldsmen. It was either between him and Kane Williamson that I was deciding between. But I was thinking, I'm sure Kane Williamson will probably be sitting in the slips. So I've got Martin Guptill, who can really field anywhere. You can put him at point. You can put him at deep mid-on. You can put him at cow corner, backward, fucking any cricket position you can think of, you can put him there. Virat Kohli, obviously the same thing goes. Normally, you like to have Virat inside, the power play ring, especially, towards the end of the game. You want your best fieldsman, towards the stumps. And we've seen, Virat Kohli take that incredible one-handed catch in the warm-up game. But he also had an incredible run-out in that same game, which just made me think we might be seeing some of the best Virat Kohli fielding at this World Cup. So he is definitely one as well. Adil Rashid, I kind of just put him in here because I know that he takes a decent amount of catches. Whenever I watch England play, it's always like he ends up taking at least 2 to 3 catches. So I've just put him in here for that, to be honest. And Temba, look, I've simply put Temba Bavuma in here because he is a little jet in the field. He is so fast, and he is someone who, I'm not expecting him to have many run-outs, but I'm definitely expecting him to have plenty of catches, whether that be in the slips. He also is someone who does put himself out on the rope to field, so I think Temba Bavuma is my 5th option. Look, if you guys have any different opinions, Put them in the comments. Put them in the comments. All right. What's up next? I totally forgot what is next. What category? All right. We've got most wickets plus, bowling economy, bowling average, that sort of stuff right there. Let's go. Let's have a look. Who do I think is going to be the top 5 wicket takers of the tournament? Here we go. Bang, just like that. Okay. So, let's go from left to right again. Now, Josh Hazlewood, the big Hoff. I think that's a pretty obvious one. Look, I mean, I could have gone with, Stark. I could have gone with Adam Zampa. But I think I chose Josh just simply because he's our best bowler. I've got the man Harris Ralph, who you guys know, Ralphie boy. He is one of my favourites. He's bowling absolute steam at the moment. Like, he also has a lot of experience here in Australia as well. He's played a lot of Big Bash League for the Stars, so he knows what to do. He knows what needs to be done to take wickets on these pitches here in Australia. I just love the man Harris Ralph. I think he's going to have a great tournament. And we did see in the warm-up game against England, him and Shaheen Afridi are bowling absolute bullets. I could have chosen Afridi, but I think, with him and his injury history, I decided not to choose him just because he might sit out a game or two. All right, number 3, we've got the big fella Trent Boult in what is meant to be his last World Cup for New Zealand, I think, ever. Are we expecting Trent Boult to play much after this tournament? Because we know, obviously, due to his age, but it's more due to the fact that he doesn't have a New Zealand contract anymore. So I'm assuming at the end of this World Cup, that'll be it for Trent Boult and New Zealand at ICC tournaments. I think that's right. So if I'm totally wrong about that, someone please correct me. But the man Trent Boult, I mean, again, he is just one of the best left-arm bowlers he's one of the best bowlers in the world. What am I saying? He can angle it in beautifully. He can swing it in. He can swing it both ways. He gets plenty of bounce. He has plenty of amazing variations. Yeah, I think he'll be the man, obviously, for New Zealand with the new ball in hand, obviously. All right, number 4, we've got the King, Arshdeep Singh, the man, the myth, the legend right here. I mean, for someone who is, was nowhere near the international selection 12 months ago, and now, 12 months later, here he is representing his country at the World Cup at the highest level in Australia. It doesn't get much bigger than this for him in his young career so far. He takes wickets. He's a very economical bowler, and he's someone that I don't think will give the bowlers much. I don't think he will. I mean, it's a really tough one to say because we have never seen him, play outside of India, really. So it is tough for me to make a judgment. But since, everyone knows here on the channel how much I love the man Arshdeep Singh, he has so many different variations. He bowls an incredible slower ball, which I think is going to catch a lot of people off guard this tournament. He can swing it as well. He angles it in very well. He's a lot like Trent Boult. That is definitely who he reminds me of. Maybe not as quick as Trent Boult, but he definitely is, quite similar in the way that they bowl, the way they angle it into the batsman and try and get people out LBW. So I've got the man Arshdeep Singh in there. I think, again, I could have gone with, I almost said Bumrah, but he's not playing. I could have gone with, Bhuvi Kumar. That's probably only the other Indian bowling option I think that will take many wickets. I think Mohammad Shami will take wickets, but I don't think he'll play every game just because of his, injury. So they don't want to play him every single game against, the lower tiered nations. So I think that's what will happen there. And the last man, I've got the spin king himself from Afghanistan, Rashid Khan. I mean, that's an obvious one. Don't really need to explain that. He is the best white ball spinner in the world, in my opinion. And he is Afghanistan's hope and dreams of winning a World Cup match. I think that's their achievement, is to win 1 to 2 matches. I mean, we're not expecting them to make the semi-finals or anything like that. But you never know. It is T20 cricket. But yes, we've got the man Rashid Khan. So, all right. Most wickets. Who will take the... Did I do who will take the most catches? I know that I did, but did I say who I actually think will? I don't think I did I? No, I didn't. Okay, hold on. Let's go back here. Who will take the most catches? I am going to say Glenn Maxwell. And for the most run-outs, I'm going to say Virat Kohli, okay? So that's where I'm going with the first one. I can't believe I totally forgot about it. I'll edit that out as well, by the way. That was embarrassing. Best editor on YouTube as well. All right, most wickets. Looking at these 5 beautifully crafted gentlemen right here, again, I want to take my bias aside. As much as I love Josh Hazlewood, I don't want to pick him because I know everyone will get upset. So I'm going to go with this man right here, Mr. Haris Rauf. I think he is going to have an incredible tournament. He has the experience here. He's young. He's not young. How old is Haris Rauf? Like mid-20s, like 27, 28 maybe? That's just a guess, by the way. He's just fast. Like, he just has that pizzazz, if that's even a word. He's got that X factor all about him. He is going to lead Pakistan's bowling attack with a freebie. I just don't think we've seen the best from Haris Rauf, and I think we're going to see it at this World Cup. These, World Cups are the most important thing in cricket, whether it's the Test Championship, ODI, T20 World Cup. This is where big game players make their names, heard. So I think Haris Rauf will lead the wickets this tournament. And I'm going to say the best average will be, it's between either Arshdeep and Rashid. But because, Arshdeep is more of a, obviously he can get put around if he bowls a few bad balls. But Rashid Khan, I feel like, will easily have the best average. So there you go. We've done our predictions for the most wickets and best economy rate. And here we go, T20 World Cup, most runs plus average. I mean, this is where a lot of people are probably, clicking on my video and, zooming straight to the middle of my video to see who I've got here for the most runs in the tournament. I'm not going to make people wait. Drum roll, please. I'm joking. Let's get into it. All right, most runs. Here we go. Now, you see the 5 lads that I've got on screen. I don't think there's any surprises or anything, weird selections that I've done here. I mean, I could have easily picked someone like... I'm trying to think. I could have picked... Chris Jordan. I mean, obviously he's a bowler. But, I could have picked someone like Jason Holder or Nicholas Pooran or... David Miller. I think David Miller was very unlucky not to make this list. But it's more purely to the fact that I don't think South Africa will be that good this tournament. So, there is a few people that definitely could have made this list. But I feel like this top 5 that I've got right here is, I have done the statistics readings. I've been, I am all in. These are not just random selections that I've gone, oh, I like Devon Conway, I'm picking him. I like Joes Butler, I'm picking him. In saying that, I don't really like Joes Butler. But, in saying that, I like Surya Kumar Yadav. Doesn't mean that's why I picked him. I've picked these guys because I genuinely think these will be the top 5 run scorers of the tournament. It's, again, of course it is a guess, but these, are my predictions. So let's start from the left. I mean, you've got Surya, which is, I think, the most obvious one. I think, I've already spoken about it. Everyone's already spoken about him. He's in he's in his career best form. He's the best T20 player in the world. He's the best white ball cricketer, in T20s, I want to say right now as well. So, he's the glue of India's batting lineup. He, obviously comes out at number 4, which I always say is probably the most important position in cricket. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? The new Mr. 360, he can put it to any parts of the ground. I've been watching him very closely over the last, 12 to 18 months, and he is just honestly still getting better and better each time he walks out there on the field. The warm-up game that we've seen against Australia, he hit like a quick 52 off 30. He's in some form. He's in some great touch. So I think he's going to be near towards the top end. I mean, unless that he randomly, has a horrible tournament, then I guess that can happen, but I don't think he will. I think he's way too talented, way too good, and I think he will lead India's most runs. But then again, I could have gone with Rohit Sharma as a comeback player. I could have gone with the King Kohli, obviously. I could have gone with KL. I could have gone with Dinesh Karthik. I could have gone with Hardik Pandya. I mean, I could have gone anywhere with that Indian team, but I think Sky is probably the best pick if you had to choose, if you had to put your money on someone. All right, number 2. I mean, we've got Jos Buttler here. Look, now, I did call, Sky the number 1 T20 player in the world, but it's hard to go past someone like Jos Buttler as the number 1 white ball cricketer in the world as well. I mean, after his big IPL, he's just gone absolutely cocoa bananas since then. He's just been making runs for fun. He's striking the ball as well as he ever has. I don't think there's much more to say to this. He plays well in Australia as well. So I think he will be the man that'll probably be at the top, maybe. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm just reminiscing to what he did to Australia's bowling attack, about 2 weeks ago in Perth. On the biggest oval in Australia, he was hitting sixes like they were nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see how the man Buttler goes. We've got the man David Warner. Again, another pretty obvious pick here, but is our number 1 man. Will be the the decider between Australia either winning the World Cup or not winning. So I guess that is a lot of pressure to put on one person, but David Warner is our rock. He's our saviour. He's the guy that is expected to go out there and make the most runs for Australia every single time. So, again, I don't think you can go past, I mean, didn't he lead the runs at the yeah, wait, hold on. Didn't David Warner make the most runs at the World Cup last year? So that's why I'm picking him as well. He's the defending run champion, so of course I'm going to have him on this list. Devon Conway. Now, I don't know where he will bat for New Zealand. I'm thinking probably number 4, maybe. It depends where Finn Allen, Guptill plays. Kane Williamson will probably be at 3. So I think they'll put Devon Conway at 4. And I think, yeah, he is New Zealand's best player behind... Well, I think in their prime, Guptill and Kane Williamson are definitely better cricketers, but Devon Conway, has played, 26 matches, and he is their best player. He's averaging 80. He's made 2 centuries, 2 half centuries in T20. He is an absolute beast, this guy. He's a 3-format player, and he's honestly my favourite New Zealand cricketer. He is an absolute treat to watch, and is probably the most underrated cricketer in the world. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with saying that he is the most underrated batsman in the world. I mean, he does it in all 3 formats, and he's barely played any games. He's a freak. And then the last one, we've got the man Babar Azam. Now, look, I could go with the nickname Zimbabwe, but I'm not gonna, because I'm showing all the respect in this video. We've got the man Babar. Now, again, it could have been him or Mohammad Rizwan, but I don't know. I think I would rather lean towards the captain if I had to pick one. So we've got Babar. I mean, again, he is also in some quite, solid touch. He is quite hit and miss sometimes. He does go missing, quite a lot, and then sometimes he'll come out of nowhere and put heaps of runs on the board. He's coming off a really good series against New Zealand and Bangladesh as well in that try series. So he's in some good touch. He looked, he looked okay in their most recent game in the warm-up. Was that him or was it? I'm trying to think. It was a few days ago. There's a lot of cricket happening at the moment. I'm just trying to remember it all. But, yeah. So that is my top 5. That is how I'm going to go with it. I think... So, alright. So, let's say most runs. I think most runs... Now, as much as I hate to say this, I think most runs might just be this man right here, Jos Buttler. Unfortunately, as an Australian, I think, I don't like to praise England, but he is definitely in some amazing touch right now, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to hit more runs than him in this tournament. With the highest average, I mean, it's hard to say it won't be Buttler because he'll make the most runs, but for fun, we're going to say something a little bit different. I'm going to say it'll be the man Devon Conway at number 4. He will average 64. I don't know. Let's just go with that. Let's go with that. All right, here we go into the back end of things. My semi-final prediction. So, of course, Group A, which has Australia, New Zealand, all them other teams. And then you've got Group B, which has India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and, the rest. So, my semi-finals, here we go. All right, that was a weird-ass drum roll. My semi-finals are going to be... Okay, there we go. It lagged on my screen for a second. Group A, I'm going to say it'll be the Kiwis versus Australia. Look, I think, we're missing out on a few teams that, would be a little bit upset not to make there. South Africa. Who else is in our group? Do we have Bangladesh in our group as well? Or is it... hold on a minute. Who is in our group? Because I did this literally like 10 minutes ago and now I can't remember. I will edit all of this out. Don't worry, guys. Edit all of this out. Best editor on YouTube. Best editor on the planet. Here we go. So Super 12. All right. So Super 12 has got Afghanistan, Australia, England, and New Zealand. So the big team that I'm leaving out of Group A would in fact be England, which makes me a little bit happy if that would happen. And then in Group B, we've got Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, South Africa. Now, obviously, two teams have to join the groups because of the Super 12s. It'll be Sri Lanka, and I haven't even really paid attention to the other teams. So, Group A, obvious. I feel like this is an obvious one. It could have easily been England instead of New Zealand here. I was never going to leave out Australia because why would I bet against my own country, the defending champs, on our home soil? That would make not much sense for me to leave out Australia. So I've gone with the Kiwis just purely off, I think they've got the most balanced group of bowling, attack and batting. I think England, with the loss of Reece Topley, I actually think that's a big loss for them. He bowls well here. He was someone who gives them something really different with the ball as well. So now they have to rely upon someone like a Chris Jordan or a Richard Gleeson, which... You guys ask me, Richard Gleeson is not the guy you want to be playing in a game. So I think England's bowling attack is a little bit one-dimensional now with guys like Wood, Chris Wokes and Sam Curran. I don't think that's that strong, to be honest. Quite similar. I feel like all three of those guys are actually quite similar bowlers, so I don't know how that will go. So I've gone with that for Group A. For Group B... How could I not? How could I go away from this incredible rivalry? Pakistan v India. I mean, this is what we hope for every time. Every time there is an ICC event, we pray to Lord Jeebus that we get Pakistan versus India at least more than once in the tournament. So, that's what I'm hoping for Group B. And in Group B, I don't think there's anyone that will really challenge them, to be honest. I don't see a team that could challenge. Maybe South Africa if they can get, their run going, but it's going to take a big effort from South Africa to try and break their way and beat either of these teams into a semi-final. So we're going with Pakistan, India. I think that's what everyone would be hoping for as well. All right, here we go. The big decision right here, my 2022 T20 World Cup final prediction. These are the two teams that I think will be playing off in this year's World Cup final. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready. Of course we're ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'll just wait for it now. Bang! There it is. India versus Australia. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Especially some of you that either, if you aren't an Australian or Indian cricket fan, I know what you're thinking right now. I hate you. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Why would you say this? You're only saying this because these are your two favourite international teams. And now, while that may be true, I genuinely think this will be the final. If I truly felt in my heart that, Pakistan would play in the final over India, then I would have said that. If I truly felt that England or New Zealand would beat Australia into a final, then I would happily admit that. But since these are my predictions, and these are just what I want to happen essentially, I'm going to go with these two teams. Rohit Sharma led India, Aaron Finch led Australia. I think both of these teams, India normally goes into an ICC tournament being the favourites, but really they're like maybe the third or fourth team to be favourites this tournament. Australia being probably the favourites as well. So, again, anything can happen in T20 cricket. Who knows? In 3 weeks' time, I might be sitting here talking about an Afghanistan-South Africa final for all we know. Like, who knows what can happen in T20 cricket, but I think this is one of the most likely scenarios that will happen. And yeah, that's really just my reasoning behind it. And I want this to happen so I can then buy a ticket to hopefully go to the final and maybe vlog it or something like that. Wouldn't that be pretty fucking cool? I think so. Okay, now into our last category. We've got the World Cup player of the tournament. Now, in fact, I've actually got 2 players in here. So I'm just going to reveal them to you and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. Let's go. And there they are. So we've got Surya Kumar Yadav and Adam Zorba, Vegan Man, Marcus Stoinis' boyfriend, Zampa, right there, baby. So, hey, I think, again, Surya Kumar Yadav, I think he's quite an obvious pick. If he has a good tournament, India are going to go very far. But I think one of the guys that is going super underrated for the Aussies especially is this man, Adam Zampa. A lot of the talk for spinners, you hear a lot about Chahal, Adil Rashid, even Tabraz Shamsi. I'm trying to think of the other spinners. Mitchell Santner, for that matter. Doug Bracewell. Like, there's a lot of other, spinners around this tournament. Rashid Khan, obviously. Shakib Al Hassan. I mean, there are quality spinners across the board. And in Australia, it's normally a pace-friendly sort of place, but just doing my, my eye inspections on all the pitches and watching a lot of cricket in Australia over the last 6 months, I think a few of these pitches are going to have a little bit of turn and a little bit of something for the spinners to take some big wicket hauls. Now, I think guys like Hasaranga, Rashid, Adam Zampa, Shakib, I think all of these guys are going to have fantastic tournaments, but I've gone with Zampa because I think if he can take, 3 wickets a game, which he usually does, he's going to finish near the top of the wickets, and he's probably, if we won the tournament, is probably the lead guy to go that way. So I've gone with Zampa as an underrated pick, and then I've got Surya over here because I think, again, if India go all the way to the end, he will be the main guy that has to lead them there, in my opinion. So, hey, those are my 2022 World Cup predictions. Leave yours in the comments. Obviously, I'd be reading every single comment. I want to hear what everyone has to say. If you don't agree, that's totally fine. But you cannot get angry in the comments without giving your own predictions. So if you get angry, I want to see your own predictions underneath it. But hey, that is going to cap it off. I hope we all enjoyed. The World Cup is just 24 hours away. As long as the rain stays away, fingers crossed, praying. And hey, I hope we all enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see everyone in the next one.